Among the many entertainers who call Las Vegas home is a senior population facing significant struggles, often due to the unique natures of their careers. Here to explain and share what's being done about it are Georgette Dante, a variety show performance artist, Fielding West, a comedy magician, Lovey Goldmine, a burlesque performer, Stephanie Castellone, a contortionist and CEO of the nonprofit BurlyCares, and Annette Houlihan, a burlesque performer and BurlyCares end-of-life doula in Las Vegas. Thank you all for joining us, and for those of you who perform for us, thank you. We're going to be showing clips of it during this discussion. I want to start with you, Georgette.
Oh, that's some. Because I wasn't able to perform a while ago because I got a broken hip.
Okay, yes. You want to show a trick, and I'm going to start with you.
Okay, here we go. And go up the sleeve, okay?
Okay.
See, go up the sleeve. You ready? There it goes.
Where did it go?
Upper sleeve.
Can you keep a secret?
I sure can.
So can I.
Georgette, there we go.
So can I.
Georgette.
Yes.
As I understand it, you come from a circus family, started performing at 3 years old, and went on to wrestle alligators?
Yeah.
What else?
I was once buried underground in a van for a week with 102 rattlesnakes to promote boxing and wrestling. I also trained boxers and I trained wrestling too at one time.
How do snakes in a van promote boxing?
Well, because exciting is more exciting than boxing or wrestling. We did in and we
Some
had
boxers might
and we
take
had a
issue
lot of
with that.
marijuana. They were happy. I was happy. They didn't know why they were happy, but I was happy.
Who had marijuana?
I had 102 rattlesnakes.
The snakes had marijuana?
I kept blowing. I kept them happy. I was there for a week. For a week, trust me.
What did they pay you for that adventure, Georgette?
Hey,
Really,
well,
I'm
that's
really interested
I was
in
about
that.
16, 17 years old when I did this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you moved to Las Vegas in the 90s. You've been
No,
performing.
I came here 2010.
2010.
I travel 80 to 100,000 miles a year. I was born in Ringling by the circus.
Okay.
So
So you
in my
moved to Las Vegas
in
in
2010.
2010. You're 75 years old. You told me that it wasn't too long ago that you ended up homeless. Now,
But
tell me-
no education. In the circus and the carnivals and the bands and the boxing and wrestling, no education, 1 day, 2 days a week, performing it's age 3 as a pretend midget, and I went to school 2 days of my life. So when you don't know how to handle your money because you don't pay taxes, because the clubs back in my days were owned by the gangsters, and they didn't pay taxes, you didn't pay taxes. So when I come to Vegas 2010, I was doing belly dancing, face painting, magic, a variety of different shows. I was working constantly, then the virus hit. And then I went to my friend's house, Eddie. He has nothing but homeless people around him. My van is fixed up really nice. It's insulation,
You were living
Bob
in a
Hope,
van.
Buddy Hackett, Chubby Checker, Pat Dahmer, all these famous movie stars on the wall in the van.
because you've worked with them in your
I worked with
lifetime.
yeah. So I'm living in the van for 4.5 months. But when your money is short, and then Stephanie.
That's where Stephanie comes
That's
in.
right.
You founded this nonprofit to help people like Georgette. What
did.
was it that happened that made you say this is really needed here in Las Vegas?
During the pandemic, it became very obvious that there was a high need for our population of people, our performers, our legends that we call them. Were in great need. Many of them were isolated, afraid to come out of their house. But in particular, there was one woman who unfortunately was diagnosed with end-stage cancer right at the advent of the pandemic. I had known her for many years and had taken care of her on and off, while I was working full-time as a nurse. So I had a relationship with this woman, and as she was passing,
And she was a burlesque performer?
she was a very well-known burlesque persona. Had a one-woman show in Miami for over 13 years.
Wow.
She was phenomenal. And I just my specialty in nursing happens to be hospice. And so I was able to help her.
Well, stop right there.
Yeah.
Because, so contortionist,
Yeah.
CEO of BurlyCares, but you're also a registered nurse.
Yes.
What a unique combination
Yeah.
to come together, and then you start this nonprofit as a result.
Yeah, very serendipitous. And at first it was overwhelming because it's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And so it was daunting at first, but the woman that really wanted me to do it was the woman that I was helping pass during the pandemic. And she was so sweet. She was very much like, okay, let's see how we can do it for you. Take it in stages. You don't need to do everything, because she kind of knew my personality and I'm just going to do it. But no, take it in stages. Do it how you see fit. You're running it. You're running the show. So you do as you see fit. And she's like,
Why'd she tell you it was important to do it?
she knew all of her friends that she had worked with for many years and formulated very close friendships with were aging.
Yeah.
And she told me as she was passing, watch, we're all going to start going because it's just time, you know. And so it's life, you know, it's part of life. And I agreed with her. I said, of course, you know, like none of us are here forever. So she was correct. Within the next 2 years, we lost another 5, which was a lot for us as a community.
Annette, I keep seeing you nodding your head. What are you agreeing with her about?
Well, the need for the care that BurlyCares provides for a population that's, you know, we're performers, gig workers, things like that, you know, and a lot of people, you know, weren't the best with, you know, with their money and were the result of, you know, shyster managers and things like that, you know. So a lot of people, and a lot of people didn't have children or didn't have, you know, spouses or partners, and that, you know, when someone is ill, usually that role of caregiver falls to, you know, children or spouses.
Why aren't performers having children?
I'd like to answer that.
Yeah, because, well, you have, actually. You're the rarity.
In the world of burlesque and showgirls and show people, many are afraid that if they have children, it's going to affect their body and they're not going to be able to continue to perform. So I think we're right down the middle, 50-50 of people that I know.
Yeah.
The ones who had children, and I'm one of them, we have a community to rely upon. We have our family to rely upon. But for women or, you know, people that decided not to have children, they're very isolated. And again, when you look at kind of the quality of what we did, you know, we're performers, oh, here's a great gig, they're gonna pay you under the table. But we weren't really schooled as far as being able to take care of ourselves later in life. And, you know, it's a young person's kind of profession. And even though some of us still perform here and there, it's really a young person's profession. So as you age out, and especially if you don't have children, you know, what is there for you to do? An education. Back when we started performing, a lot of us, and I had children, I had to. I mean, I had to, well, if it wasn't for my bad taste in men, I think I would have gone to Broadway. But anyway, so.
But earlier you told me, had you not found the right daddy, you might.
Oh yeah, because I have a real good daddy.
It eventually worked
And
itself
you know, he's
out.
kind of a burlesque historian. He knew me when I was good looking. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah, so he's a great man.
Hey, I'm going to cut you off there because I want to show some of your performance from earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Burlesque Hall of Famer Lovey Goldmine.
They could see me now, that little gang of mine. I'm eating fancy chow and drinking fancy wine. I'd like those stumble bumps to see for a fact the kind of top drawer, first-rate chums I attract. All I can say is, wow, we look at where I am. Tonight I landed, pow, right in a pot of jam. What a setup, holy cow. They'd never believe it if my friends could see me now.
That was awesome. Thank you so much for that. And we have Fielding coming up as well. Fielding, will you tell me how BurlyCares helped you?
Oh, they're still helping me. I had a knee replacement in June of last year. I went to therapy, and they only let you go to therapy, physical therapy, for so long. Then they throw you out, and then they want to start charging you to go. Miss Stephanie says, no, I'm going to get you somebody that's going to come to your house 3 days a week and work on your knee with you. So I've got somebody that comes over, and the coincidence about this, the young lady that comes over was my assistant in downtown Las Vegas at the Lady Luck Hotel for 2 years.
Wow.
When I had my own show there, yeah. Wow. So that's Joanne, and Joanne's show comes to my house every 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And what's happened, my cats love her so much. That when so now
I'm
they're
going to cut you off there, Fielding, because we're getting down a unique alley there.
No. She takes care of the cats. What I'm saying is, she's such a good friend and a great therapist.
Okay.
And that's the thing, which makes it a lot easier to
And you
do.
wouldn't have been able to afford this care. You don't have you didn't have the insurance.
I have some new insurances now, but not at the level that I needed the care and the therapy.
So we talked about education or lack of education. We talked a little bit about finances, but being paid under the table, that means you're not paying into Social Security, right?
That's what happened.
Yeah, that's
See,
right.
I started performing in nightclubs when I was 12 years old. Is a burlesque. So is my mother, Delilah. So I'm the 6th generation of show people. And the club owners didn't pay taxes. You didn't. You only one day. Well, in the circuits, 1 day, 2 days. The nightclubs, 1 week or 2 weeks. And they didn't pay it. And plus, my lack of education, I didn't know how to pay taxes anyway. So, it's besides the point. So I hardly get anything for our Social Security. I still do get. So again, Stephanie, same old thing.
What kind of Social Security payments are you finding that these legends are getting?
It ranges quite a bit. I mean, some of our legends are lucky in that they served in the service, so they get a stipend from the VA. But by and large, I see quite a range. I've seen as low as $600 a month, which definitely doesn't pay rent.
No.
But it helps,
anywhere,
so it helps.
and then we've got some that get, that have been good with their money or have paid in each year and knew the tax system and get, a little over $2,000, so it ranges. But most of all of our clients are very much on a fixed income.
So you're helping with basic life necessities, medical supplies, medical care, but
Equipment.
there's another aspect to your service, and that is where you come in, again, better known to burlesque fans as Blanche Debris. Can you first, can I get a little taste of Blanche Debris?
Oh, right. My Blanche likes to end every show with be kind to one another, remember to hold hands and shine. So that's a little bit of Blanche's, the fairy godmother of burlesque.
Yes, she is.
Good message. Good message.
Well, and you are applying that into this other line of work that you are doing, which is as an end-of-life doula. What is an end-of-life doula?
First of all, it's a kind of a new designation or a description for the role. I mean, it's doulas, end-of-life doulas, death doulas have been. That role has been performed by humans for millennia, right? And so it's only really very recently that it's been sort of like pinned down. And an end-of-life doula is a non-medical person who works with the person who is dying, and a lot of times also their loved ones, their families, biological and logical families, in order to alleviate fear and anxiety over the death and dying process, to provide information, advocacy, fill in the gaps that hospice care and palliative care might leave, not because their care isn't good, but because the amount of time required to spend with someone is immense. And hospice care workers, they are so busy and doing such wonderful things that they don't have the time to spend with the person who is dying. And a lot of times, a dying person and the people around them won't be informed, because the biggest fear of anyone, like universally, is death, right? So no one talks about it. No one wants to think about it. So when it's happening, everyone feels lost and they're not sure what to do or what's going to happen. So one of the things a doula can come in and do is to provide information and education for the person and the family of what to expect, to start conversations that are difficult.
Now, in these cases, are there family members often present, or?
I'd say, like Lovey mentioned, probably about half. 50% of the time, yes, and 50% of the time, no.
And
we are
that's
the family.
Yeah, that's
We are
something
it.
that makes this population unique.
Very unique, yes.
Stephanie, I want to stop right now and let's watch some of your performance from earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephanie Castellone, also known as Ms. Charlemagne.
That hurt me just to watch.
It hurts me when I don't do it.
It brings up a good point about the physicality, though,
Oh,
of
yeah.
of this career, and that it's not sustainable later in life, right?
It is, but you definitely have to listen to your body and know when to, what I call, retire tricks.
Same thing in magic. I'm
Yeah.
not jumping up and down on boxes or
Right.
going through trapdoors or doing, that ship sailed and it hit an iceberg.
Same thing in burlesque.
Same deal, right?
It is, very much.
Yeah.
Now, how much of that is why you're working a second job? Because you're working a second job as well.
Well, I've got two things I do. I teach speech for young performers, what I call a class called Stagecraft 101. It's to teach people how to enter and exit the stage, what to do and what not to do, proper speech patterns. And I teach timing, which is something that no one has ever thought of doing. I played drums for years when I put myself through college, playing drums. And I said, you know what, if you can teach timing to a comic or to a magician, well, actually the point is if you can teach music, you can teach timing.
Right.
And that's the whole. So I do that. I still travel with the Lance Burton Friends Show. I'm still on the road doing at least 3 shows in large theaters per month. I'm leaving in 5 days to go to Colorado and then on to Santa Fe, New Mexico.
And he's 80 years old.
Almost. Wait, how old are you, Fiona?
I'll be 74.
74.
Don't push it.
I know.
You've,
I was
op-
wrong.
you've opened for Liza Minnelli, The Temptations, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Let's take a look at some of your performance from earlier. Ladies and gentlemen, Fielding West.
Okay, it's good to be. I know that you enjoy magic because you told me so. But I want to show you a little something. And I like to do this nice and close so everybody gets a chance to see what it looks like here. You know the expression, give me 5, give me 5. Whoa, you've done that before. Do that one more time. Right there. One more time. Oh, that's a good one right there. Let's see what we got here. Oh, that's my buddy Bob the Bird. What do you think?
Hello, Bob.
Isn't that a neat trick?
Yeah, I'll say.
Well, for starters, hold your hand out. Watch this.
Hello, sweetheart.
Say hi to Bob. Let me see here. That's what I like. Now you sit. You sit right there. That's a good boy. Hey, hey, hey.
Oh, boy.
I said sit.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
I was thinking of Bob.
And I'll tell Bob the Bird that.
Yeah, poor Bob the Bird. I thought maybe we were going to have an end-of-life doula service for Bob. I want to
Haven't
ask.
done animals
On
yet.
film.
I do want to ask more about that. Why did you choose to include that service, Stephanie?
The death doula service, because it was integral in the beginning and the formation of BurlyCares with the woman that I helped pass. It was very much part of, and it's also my specialty, right? So that's really where I feel comfortable. It's where I'm most proficient. That's where I can do the most teaching and the most, comprehensive help. I feel like 20 plus years in hospice, I think, is enough to know what to do, when someone's getting ready, to pass. So.
And BurlyCares' offering is going to be starting in the fall.
Yes.
I want to jump in.
Thank you.
Death doula training and certification, which is I'm going to be first signed up in the class because I'm very early on in my experiences. So.
And what
Stephanie
have
is
your
gonna-
experiences been like?
Well, looking back, I realized it started with taking care of my own mother many years ago when I was quite young. And I realize now when Stephanie told me when I was helping, I thought I was just, helping my friends. And Stephanie was like, oh, no, you have a gift. And coming from her, who I know who does have the gift and does have the passion and the calling, because a lot of people talk about end-of-life care as a calling and a passion.
Yes.
For her to say, you've got it, and me to go, I don't know if I want it, but okay, okay. And then, of course, the more I learn, but the more I learn and the more that I experience the beautiful, how death can be a beautiful human experience, not a medical one. We want to bring death back to the experience that is a spiritual and a human and a compassionate and a beautiful passing.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for your
Thank you.
time.